Khubor ka Batisi TV. Lawan Rashapi da ka Frank Motors. The dark is here to rule.
Chief Electoral Officer uba FR Kharkongor uloong bahadian ba lasapriang ki khubor bakadan ke jingkhangla iginong Thep hakin riu tuli ki polling station Mawhati ula shimkhia khanang bakan omdon kono ke jingkhangla yaki pajba banyo Thep vote kelai trailang na baro arliang na Assam ban na Meghalaya halor kini ke benta bat shisha ki pajba kelai yo ban pendap yakahok jongki ban Thep vote.
In Mawhati Assembly constituency, 6 polling stations under Mawhati constituency would perhaps have their freedom to exercise their franchise interfered with. But however, due to the cooperation of the Assam police and also due to the prompt coordination between the state government of Meghalaya and the state government of Assam and the counterpart police forces, all the voters of these 6 polling stations were able to come and cast their votes in this interstate border polling station. Then apart from that, I would also like to highlight that today polling was held across 3,419 polling stations. Originally we have 3,482, but as you know, in Soyam, the polls have been adjourned due to the death of the contesting candidate. So 63 polling stations under Soyam will be going to the polls at a later date as announced by the Election Commission. Polls of course have been officially adjourned by the ECI. As you have seen in the past 2-3 days, our polling teams have travelled and they have traversed through mountainous terrain and crossed rivers and also have gone through steep mountain paths. And we had 183 polling stations which were under the shadow zone. However, we are grateful to the police that they were able to set up 264 police radio stations and 19 repeater stations were set up to ensure that through the police network we were able to communicate with all our teams. Also, there were these interesting polling stations like the Kamsing and the Kalatek, which are 2 riverine polling stations, and also there were many makeshift bamboo bridges which our polling teams had to cross, especially in the Garo Hills region. And apart from that, we had some interesting, in fact, polling stations where polling parties used ropeways to transport their polling material, and many polling parties had to cross through mud-swollen rivers, especially the Rumba River in South Garo Hills, and also some polling parties had to trek for hours. They had to go on a foot march. There was one polling station in South Garo Hills where the polling party had to trek for about 8 hours, and another polling team in Maukarbat for about 4 hours. And apart from that, we also had to use porters to, porters were used by the polling parties to trek through very steep stone paths. Then there was one particular polling party in Nongna in West Khasi Hills, whereby in southwest Khasi Hills, whereby there was a team of both forest guards as well as police personnel who had to be deployed together because it was a common track for the elephants. Then in the state, the only temporary polling station was set up at the leprosy center under 904 Assembly constituency. So this polling station was set up especially for the leprosy patients, and it is the only temporary polling station amongst these 3419 polling stations that we had. And this also captured the spirit of Election Commission's no voters left behind. We had 120 all-women polling station, and we had 60 model polling stations, and we had a number of youth-managed polling stations, which were set up all across the state. We also deployed a large number of poll volunteers were drawn from the leading youth organizations and in some districts they were also drawn from the social welfare department and from other government departments to help the people with disability and the senior citizens. Coming to the people with disability and senior citizens, I'm happy to share with you that against the applied Form 12D, that means against the number that was applied, the votes that were casted was about 91.8% against those people who had applied Form 12D for the senior citizen category, that is 80 plus, and against the PWDs, against the forms applied, the votes cast were about 95%. Home voting, as you know, was initiated for the first time this year, and it was something that was used to great effect by the category which had applied for Form 12D, and our teams had gone across the state to record the votes of the people with disability and the senior citizens above 80, and this enabled them to vote from the comforts of their homes and to transcend the queues that were there. So this was a new measure that was there this time. Apart from that, the electorate that was going into the polls, 10.59 lakhs was male and 10.81 was female. So the enrollment of the females was much higher than the males. And also today, across the polling stations in the state which went to the polls, we saw that it appeared that the women voters far outnumbered the male counterparts. In terms of the age profile of the electorates, in the 18-19 category, we had 89,564, and these first-time voters were also felicitated with the first-time voter medals. And similarly, like they have done in the past, the first 5 voters of every polling station were also given these first-to-vote medals. In terms of people with disability, we had about 11,310 who were registered PWD electors. 80 plus voters were 22,042, and the total control units that were deployed was 4,700 plus. The total ballot units was almost 5,000, and the total VVPAT is about 4,900 plus.